This is Paul. I was looking at a false instrument, see false or counterfeit document. You would think any court instrument, any court process that has forgeries on it would be considered a counterfeit document. For a document to be 100% legal, it would not counterfeit any signatures. There wouldn't be any forgeries. Now, I have made mention that protection order seems to still be there, and I'm asking myself, well, why is it that law enforcement won't remove a counterfeit document where the signature of Christy Miller doesn't match the signature of Christy Miller? The one that's on the weapon surrender form is different than the one that is on the protection order. Now, when you issue counterfeit documents, it could be that there's false pretenses, premeditated, calculated, thought out misrepresentation of facts or situation frequently entered into to defraud someone of property or money. Now, let's say there was false pretenses for the arrest that happened to me on Guam, and I'd emailed some lobbyists about the evaluation that Wayne gave me, where he thought, well, let's do the 7 hours of parenting classes for younger children, those 12 and under, because I did have 5 sons that were under the age of 12 at that time. And then quite possibly marriage counseling if the petitioner had wanted it. Now, when you really think about the false pretenses of issuing a court document where the petitioner didn't sign it, where I wasn't given actual notice and opportunity to be heard for 16 different times over the last 6 years, I would think that it's a misrepresentation of fact or situation frequently entered into to defraud me and my family of property or money. Now, I have mentioned numerous inheritances that I have not yet received, victims' resources, rewards for being a whistleblower, poo-poo, poo-poo. Now, if there was some false statements, a deceitful, purposely untrue statement made for the ulterior motive of false pretenses to defraud me of property or money, it could be that the false statements of a blind 14-year-old girl that could not see anything were used to justify, to violate my constitutional rights to due process in 2011, violated my custody rights, violated the Violence Against Women's Act, violated the required timely and proper notice of court hearing, and violated my right to my inheritance. Now, when we think of to defraud someone because of false pretenses, the premeditated putting me in jail because of false statements from Heidi and Jessica, because of the false swearing, untrue statements that are sworn as true, often made before a court or a public official. However, false swearing is not considered perjury unless is done during a judicial proceeding. Now, I'm sure when we get the actual recordings of every time that Jessica or Heidi or what do they call it again? A false, a fictitious petitioner or a fictitious plaintiff had ever appeared in court. And I look at exactly what it means to have that false swearing in. Well, this is how it is, Your Honor, okay? This is what really happened, okay? The guy was drinking and doing drugs, and he was smoking, and he was very, very abusive, all right? I mean, all he did was want to see Jessica with her clothes off, and he constantly called my mother a CUNT, and there's on and on and on and on and on and on and on. It looks to me like this was all premeditated to take hostage my sons, to take my inheritance and my assets, and to violate my rights as an American citizen. Now, I know we have a new president in the White House. Now, there is this, and I thought this was very interesting. In Section 3 of Article number 2, President shall communicate to Congress, he may convene and adjourn, shall receive ambassadors, execute laws, and commission officers. He shall receive ambassadors, other public men. He shall take care that the laws are be faithfully executed, and shall commission officers of the United States. Now, when I had started to email those in office, the president could be violating Article 2, Section 3. He is not faithfully executing the laws of the United States. Now, I don't know how many times I have said enforce the laws of the United States. But let's say Donald Trump had some knowledge of Paul Budnick and Heidi Budnick and the Budnick situation. Because when we were on Guam, I thought Donald was the big market maker. Donald! Now, it could be that Donald Trump of Trump hotels, Trump casinos, Trump golf courses. You remember that lawsuit that Trump decided to sue the nation of Scotland? Now, I'm really thinking that not only does Donald Trump know who Paul Budnick and his sons are, I'm thinking that the Obama family does know who Paul Budnick and his sons are. It could be that Jeb Bush, when he found out I was running for president, that George W. might know who Paul Budnick and his sons are. Now, it seems to me that when you get sworn in as the President of the United States, and you do not faithfully execute the laws of the nation, that you can be sued for violating Article 2, Section 3. Now, I'm going to want those rights today. And I want an email